Since the beginning of Season 5, it appeared as though Samurai Jack was plagued by apparitions and illusions of shadowy figures and ghosts of his previous self. For the longest time, it was assumed these were mere figments of his imagination. With what we've seen in Season 5, Episode 6 with the ominous horseman that has been following Jack throughout his travels, it appears as though these are no longer illusions haunting Jack, but real projections possibly thought into existence by Jack's mindset. How is it possible for Jack to bring his thoughts to life? The answer can be found in the law of vibration, which is where thought waves, which are measurable and therefore very real in scientific terms, vibrate at certain frequencies depending on their content and which emotions are driving them. Thought waves are a form of energy, and those vibrating waves of energy attract other forms of energy vibrating on the same frequency. In real terms, this means that if you're thinking about death, you're emitting thought vibrations on that frequency, which attracts anything related to that thought pattern that is also emitting that very same frequency. We know that Jack's body, the composition of his molecule structure, was altered by the time portal. His energy vibrations have also been altered, which means his thoughts work on a different frequency, potentially on a level where he is able to think things into existence. The horseman that Jack saw began as a mere illusion based on his thoughts, but was brought to life upon the vibration of his energy. He was close to giving in to the astral projection of his negative thoughts until Ashi stepped in. Ashi was able to see the horseman because of the strength of Jack's projection of the figure. In fact, Ashi stood no chance of actually being able to defeat the horseman. It was ultimately up to Jack to overcome his thoughts of death to ultimately defeat the projection he put out into the world in the form of the horseman. Ashi convinced Jack that his cause is just and he's indeed done more good than harm, giving Jack the energy to defeat the negative energy he initially placed into the world in the form of the horseman. The law of vibration. It holds true for Jack, which means that if he were to succumb to the thoughts of the ghost form of the previous version of Jack, he too would be forced into existence much like the horseman. This is obviously a power that Jack knows not how to control or the reasoning behind it, much like his stunted aging. It might also be believed that the horseman was in fact a Shinigami, a grim reaper of sorts in Japanese folklore. Though the horseman does in fact have elements that are akin to a Shinigami, I personally don't believe it is in fact one. The Shinigami is typically depicted as a facilitator of death, simply escorting those towards the end of their lifespan to the other side. The horseman's aggressive ways in episode 6 don't strike me as a gentle nudge towards the afterlife. He wanted Jack dead, even if it meant killing those who stood in his way. But of course, it is possible they borrowed from the Japanese folklore of the Shinigami, I must admit. But ultimately, I believe Jack has the mental capacity to think things into existence, thoughts that weigh heavy on his soul. And there is possibly more that will be revealed as we undoubtedly encounter the ghost Samurai Jack in future episodes. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree these hallucinations are projections made real by the energy given off by Jack's altered body? Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. And until the next one, I will see you in the next one, friends. Peace.